Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed. In this video, we are going to look at the Paperless-ngx. Okay. I have got a new machine, so I'm setting up a lot of tools that I rely on a day to day. And I thought this might be a good opportunity to record this session and run through with some of the introduction of what exactly is the Paperless-ngx, some of the benefits and the use cases of it. And probably if you want a further details, then I can cover this into the next video where I can show you exactly how I do my configuration files, the installation, and everything is locally. So I'm not using a cloud version of this. I'm just running all of this locally on my machine. And also the real value now with all these LLMs in place, do you get some more interesting features, because paperless is just not something about searching a document anymore. It becomes more like an interaction where where you can have a conversational approach with all of the documents. Okay. All right. So before we get into it, whether in construction or any other industries, we are dealing with thousands of documents, and these documents have like drawings, specifications, work permits, maintenance logs, manuals, site photographs, receipt, or also even some of your old projects that's sitting into some another location. And despite having all of these structured information, if we ask somebody to find a specific information, let's say find out like the chiller number from, or the record of a chiller numbers for the last 3 summers, then it's very not convenient to go and find that very quickly. Nobody can find that in less than a minute. And I think this is where the Paperless-ngx comes in very handy. Whether if you are searching for information within a BIM execution plan or within a drawing, or if you wanted to reference something from the reports or specification, etc., this is where this gets benefitable. Because what Paperless-ngx does is that it's just not only talks about having the information to be more as a metadata, but it helps you to rethink of some of these fundamentals. Because you have a data and the data is raw, right? A document, it contains certain information, and that information is sitting into a folder, and a folder has a location. But when you look into all these systems that we typically use, whether it's your SharePoint, OneDrive, Autodesk Construction Cloud, Aconex, ProjectWise, SAP, you name them, they all rely on a good filtering of information based on your actual file name. So you may say that, okay, I have a very defined naming convention, but that's not convenient because that's changing from project to project. So you may have some door details that you may have designed for 2 3 projects in the past, but then if you wanted to search for that information, it's not very handy. You may still have to go back to the midip to find out, like, what's your actual document number, and then you go back and you search it. And I think this is where the Paperless-ngx comes in. It's not your CDE. It doesn't do clash detection, it doesn't host your models. All it does is that it forces you to think in a metadata format, right? It has certain features that we will run through in a bit, but this is the website. So if you wanted to explore yourself on how to install it, there are plenty of tutorials, videos, etc. online that can help you to get started with this. But I would just share with you some of my approach and fun and the way that I use this application. And what I have done is that I've did a local version of mine. That's all sits onto the local host here on the port 8000 here. This is a very simple user interface. So you got a dashboard here, and you got a document section here. So whatever the documents, etc., that you get uploaded, you can further filter this based on the tags, the correspondence, the storage paths. You can also have some custom fields or metadata that you can define. And once you have that information, you can basically search it. And right now this is not connected with the LLM, and but this is where I thought like I may use this as an opportunity in the future videos to talk about the integration of an LLM which is also sitting locally. Okay. What I have done here is that I have taken some of the files that I have seen online. I'll just open one of them. So for instance, if I just open one of these shop drawing here, you could see that this is a PDF file and not all the text are editable here. There are certain images which is very hard to search, right? If I wanted to search for a specific text within this, I may not be able to quickly find it. Even the PDF search doesn't help me here. Okay. And this is where the paperless-ngx comes in very handy, because what it happens is that when you upload a file here to the interface, it basically takes that, runs through an OCR, extract the specific text, indexes it into sort of a database here locally, and make it searchable for you, right? And this is where I think the real power is. And not only that, whether it's not just about the documents or the images, etc., but you can also have your inbox being connected. So you got a mail section here where you can connect it. There are configuration that you need to be done, and then you can connect your OST file with this. Okay. And traditionally what we may have seen is that we have a lot of document types, right? Like we talked about earlier, like we got BEP, we got specifications, site photographs, manuals, etc. And all of them are not searchable. You may be able to find it based on the actual file name, but it's very very handy because you may not be able to search a specific information based on the actual content or metadata that you have within that specific system, right? So let's try to do this. What we will do is that we'll just take some of these documents that I have. They all are PDF documents. I'll just simply drag and drop here. Right now what it is doing is that it's uploading, and while it is uploading, it just runs the OCR, it tracks OCR and then extracts that specific text. Okay. Once While this is uploading, we may also look into some of the other features. You can also create some user groups that can help you to manage or restrict access to some of these documents. Okay. And you can also do some customization here. So if you go under the settings here, you can define specific information. I've enabled the dark modes. That's what you're seeing here. But you can define your specific preferences by going to the settings. If you look into the configuration, you do have the OCR settings here. That's something that you can explore. At the same time, the barcode as well. So if you have a specific image or a document that has the barcode, then you can also enable it. And there is a little icon here that can help you to understand. It goes to the documentation and it helps you to understand what it is, or what is that specific setting. I'll just save this, and it looks like the documents are now uploaded. So once the documents are uploaded now, I can see that we have 4 documents that has been uploaded. The total number of characteristics that was able to expand from the document. There are views that you can play around with it. Right now, this is a list view. You can also go to the thumbnail view, and this is the one which I like it. Because if you recall, all we did was we took few documents and we just uploaded those drawings here. And what it did smartly is that it extracted the text within those documents here, right? So now I can filter a specific information based on a specific revision date, or if I wanted to find out a specific details that I can search it. And the search is pretty powerful. You can go to the advanced search as well. You can define some custom fields as well. If I go here back to the thumbnail view, and if I show here to the details, what it did is that it extracted all of this data. It tells you exactly when this was uploaded. The other fields that we did not currently customize it, but you will be able to do that. And you can also create some tags. So the one which I have done earlier was just created this as a spec. But if I just quickly go here, and then I can call it as a drawing, and I can define the algorithm that it needs to run through when every time it's basically searching a specific information. So either all documents contains all of these specific word, or document contains any of this specific word. I can define that data, and then I can save it. So right now what we did, we just created a tag. Go back here to the drawing. I go back to the details here, and I can change that to a drawing here now. And once I save it and go back here to the document, you can see that this information is filtered based on the tag. So now I can filter this specifically just based on the tag. Okay. Similarly, all your manual specs, etc., that you can make use of that. You can also define some custom field. So there is one custom field that I have defined here, which is called this drawing number. Okay. And one of the benefits of this is that when I go here to the document, put this into the list view, I can further sort this based on the actual document number. I mean, that's something that we did not enable, but because it's not enabled here, but because we created that as a tag, I should be able to have my own pre-populated values. And that's where I think Python comes in very handy when you wanted to automate some of these features. And this is where like the large language models helps you to pre-populate some of this data. Okay, so go back here again, and let's say now I wanted to search for a specific drawing for joinery. I think all of them, it contains the joinery. Let me open one of these. For instance, let's say I wanted to search for cabinet, right? So I just go here and then I can search for cabinet, and it just filters out the document which has the cabinet. Similarly, if I know, for instance, Anchorage, I wanted to search for it, I'll just search for Anchorage and it just gives me the only specific document. Similarly, what you can do is you can have all your other documents. There are some other architecture documents that I have. I'll not upload heavy files. I'll just go here, back again, just simply drag and drop it here. While it is uploading, let's open one of them to see. So let's say I wanted to search for this specific room, let's say this toilet too. I'll just copy that. I'll wait for this to get uploaded. Um, Same way, what we can also do is we can have your, I mean, I've got some BIM execution plan templates which are from online. I'll just upload them as well. Okay. While those documents are happening, because right now this is still being filtered based on the specific tag, I just say reset the filters, and it is uploading all those documents. And when I look into one of this specific one, I can see that it has some information that I can still use this to search, right? All it is doing now is that it's taking all the metadata that you have within that, and it helps you um, to basically put everything into this content. So whatever the text that you see here, they all are written here. And that's the beauty of this application, because you can have so much of files that you can upload it into a single interface, and you should be able to search it very quickly. And it does also has the REST API, which means that you can connect it with the LLMs, as we have discussed before. And I think once you connect that with the LLM, I think one of the features that you can look into is that, for instance, show me all RFI for a specific consultant about, let's say, waterproofing, right? It may be able to quickly find that information, because all this information is been um, is been indexed here. Okay. And whatever the documents that you have open, it just keeps a record of the open documents. You can close it from here. And if I look into one of this specific one, Okay. And if I search for a specific one, for instance, like the BIM protocol here, go here to the documents again, search for the BIM protocol, should be able to get you that information. Okay. And I think this is it for this specific video. Again, the whole purpose for you to show this is that this is a very um, good platform where it can help you to search for the information, which typically, in order to find that information, you need to open, like in whether it's PDF or any other file format, in order to get to the content. Okay. All right. So I hope you find this education entertaining. And if you would like to learn how to do the setup, then please do feel free to comment. Then I'll try to do another video explaining the second part. Thank you very much.